Hi everyone, it's Mr. Baker, and today we're going to be looking at light and transparency. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the transparency of materials, and we're going to be trying to answer this question. Can light travel through a wall? Okay, so have a look at these three pictures here. We've got three keywords that you may have heard of before. Transparent, translucent, and opaque. So which of these three words, or which word matches which picture? Have a little think, and then I'll let you in on the answer. Okay, so we've got these three words that you may have heard of before. So transparent is what we're looking at today. Transparent means see-through. It's something that will let the light through. So if these three, this object here is transparent, it will let the light through. We can see this person clearly behind the transparent material there. Translucent will let some light through, but it will create this kind of diffuse effect. So the light will go through, but it won't necessarily travel all the way through all of it in straight lines, and so we'll be able to see the sort of fuzzy image behind it. So like sweet wrappers and things like that, maybe opaque. You might be able to see some light coming through, but not necessarily really sharp images, whereas over here this might be like a window, some glass or something like that. And then opaque objects are things that don't let light through at all. So generally what we think of as a wall. Yeah, so a wall in our house wouldn't let light through because a wall is solid and it's opaque. So generally this is what would happen when light hits a surface. So the light that's coming into something we call is the incident light, the incident ray, and we could break it up into three different parts. So the light could go straight through the object, and if it did, then we would say that it's transmitted through. So the light that's transmitted, transmission is light going through the object. If light was being absorbed, that means that it wouldn't go through. And so this arrow here shows when light is absorbed, it just goes in and it won't go through the object. So this would be like an opaque object in this case. And sometimes light can also be reflected off the object as well. And again, that's probably going to be an opaque object. It could be other objects as well, but light will be reflected off things as well. So there's the three things, and a lot of the time all three things will happen a little bit. So you might get most of the light being reflected, let's say, but some of it might be absorbed, or most of it might go through and be transmitted, but some of it might be absorbed, and in fact some of it might be reflected. So if you think of a window, sometimes when you're standing by a window you can see through the window, but you can also see a partial reflection of yourself as well. So most of the light is going through, but some of it is also being reflected. Okay, so all of these things could happen all at the same time as well. So for example, here's the sun, and the sun is shining its rays towards this green leaf. And this is an example of the fact that sometimes light might be transmitted, reflected and absorbed all at the same time. So in this example, 12% of the light is reflected, 83% of the light is absorbed, and 5% will actually go through and be transmitted through as well. So all of these things could happen all at once. Okay, so we've just had a really quick introduction into what are those three things, those three words, what do they mean, and what happens to light as it goes through objects. So we started off by asking, can light travel through a wall? And no, not really, but if those walls were made of transparent objects, then it could. Okay, thanks very much. I've been Mr. Baker, and I'll see you next time.